Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's been a slow week on eBay. Has anyone else had a slow week on eBay? It was really strange. I sold like half of what I normally do. I don't know why. Today I'm going to talk through some interesting things that I found while outsourcing this week. I'm also going to talk through my top 10 sales of the week, as I do every week on Mondays. I'm also going to talk through a couple other weird things. I did get scammed, but I do know the outcome of that scam. So later on, we're going to talk about exactly what happened and what the outcome was. Who won? Did the scammer win? Did I win? Stay tuned to find out. By the way, 1099s for tax season are ready from eBay. So go to your My eBay page and you can find a link right up top to get your 1099s and fill out your taxes. So the first thing we're going to do is talk through some interesting things that I found this week, and then we'll jump into the top 10 sales of the week. Up first is this lamp. Check this out. Got this at St. Vincent de Paul for about $13. I've not listed it yet. My wife found it actually. She has a good eye for this type of thing, but this is a really unique and interesting lamp. So I'm pretty sure this is a Murano glass. Murano is an island just outside of Venice, Italy, famous for its glass. I'm pretty sure this lamp is a Murano glass lamp. I can't be 100% certain. I have not done all the research. There is a lot of Murano glass lamps on eBay, but I could not find one that was similar to the one that we have here. But I found this one on Ipaka. I don't know what website this is. They've got theirs listed for $2,750, if you can believe that. It does look very, very similar. Almost exact. Again, I have not compared directly. I don't know if it's a Murano glass, but we got this for $13 at St. Vincent de Paul. It's huge. It's awesome. I'm pretty sure it is Murano. Gonna have to do some more research before I list it, but pretty exciting. But I'm not an expert. If you know about this lamp, if you know about Murano glass, let me know in the comments below. Tell me what you think. Now, just because it's listed for $27.50 on this website does not mean that it's worth $27.50. I have no idea what this website is. This could be just some person who's selling their own lamp and they're putting their own price on it. Looking at comps on eBay, again, I can't find the exact one, but similar ones are selling anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000. I will probably list this one around the $1,500 mark, perhaps with best offers and a sizable shipping fee on it. Not quite sure yet. We're still going to do some research on it, but a pretty exciting find. It would be one of our best finds if it does end up being a true Murano and it ends up selling for that amount. So pretty exciting. Let's see what else we found this week. This one is a Panasonic VCR, not just any old VCR. You'll notice it's the blue line VCR. And so very specifically, I'm going to open up the listing here so you can see more pictures. There's a specific style of Panasonic VCR that has that blue line, which you can see right there. It is a desirable VCR. In fact, so much so that people search eBay for blue line. And so you want to put that one in your title if you find a blue line VCR like this. The blue line VCR that I found did come in the box. And so it had all the accessories. It had the remote. It had the VCR, of course, and it had the booklet. I paid up for it. It was $25 at Salvation Army, but this thing was pristine. It was in such good condition, almost looks unused. Of course, I tested it. Everything looks great. Everything worked great. I listed it on eBay for $90 plus shipping. So we'll see. I think this one should go pretty quickly though, because it is a desirable one and it is in great condition. Another find this week is this Microsoft 4000 keyboard. I find these keyboards really frequently. They are very common at thrift stores. Again, most keyboards that you find at a thrift store are not going to be worthwhile, but this one is, and I find this one, I would say once a month almost, it seems like, this Microsoft 4000 ergonomic keyboard. It's the one with the split keys, you know. It's kind of hard to type on. You have to get used to it, but I'm not sure why this one's so desirable. Maybe they just don't make ones like this anymore. I'm really not sure, but happy to pick this one up. In fact, I've seen if you find these new in the box, they go for hundreds of dollars, but even used, and this was not in perfect condition, I have it listed for $50 plus shipping. So let's take a look at how I did this week. Looks like, again, like I said, it was a very slow week. I have no idea why. I sourced as much as I normally do. I listed as much as I normally do. I just didn't sell as much as I normally do. So very strange. 748% ROI for the last 7 days, 50% net profit margin. That's right around where I sit. So everything is good there. Had a gross income of $1,049 and a net income of $583. Look at this Thursday, this Friday, Saturday. I was basically, I did $13 in gross sales on Friday. I did $37 in gross sales on Saturday. So Friday and Saturday just were so slow. I have no idea why. You can just see that dip right there. But it picked up on Sunday. Typically on Mondays, we have like between 20 and 30 items going out at a minimum. And I think we shipped 12 this morning. So we have ups and downs in this business, and you can't let the downs get you, because you just, with reselling it on eBay, some things are out of your control. You can't force people to buy your stuff. And the leverage that you have and the power that you have is in listing and sourcing. So go out there, source as much as you can, list as much as you can, and just trust that the sales will come. Sometimes you're going to have slow weeks like I had this week, but don't let that get you down. Looks like I had 35 new listings and 34 sales over the last 7 days. My average time to sell is 3 months, which is typically where I sit. All right, let's jump into the top 10 sales of the week. Coming in at number 10 is this Texas Instruments TI-84 Plus Silver Edition. So these things used to be really good. They would sell for $50, $60, maybe $70, and they would sell same day all the time. Now, not so much. They don't go for as much money, and they don't sell as quickly. You'll see this one took 7 days to sell, only $39.99 with free shipping. This was in good condition. Found this at a thrift store for only $7, and I actually found 2 of them. Check that out, right next to each other. So every once in a while, you'll find stuff like this at thrift stores where they forget to price them up, but this one was a pretty good find. They're just not selling for as much money or as quickly as they used to, so keep that in mind when you're outsourcing, especially this summer at garage sales. These are very common at garage sales. So I used to pay $20 for them if I'd find them. I don't think I would pay $20 for them now. I'd pay $10, maybe $15 for them. Coming at number 9 is this Sonos Bridge. So I found 2 of these also actually at a thrift store. They were brand new. They were open box, but they had never been used. This one took about a month to sell. I don't know if you all have this same phenomenon that I have, which is that sometimes I'm walking through my inventory to pick something up or whatever, and I see something on the shelf and I'm like, whoa, I forgot that I had that thing. And then within like a day, it will sell. It's the strangest thing. And this happened with this Sonos Bridge where I was picking up inventory to ship off and I saw it on the shelf. I was like, huh, I wonder why that hasn't sold yet. It had a really good sell-through rate. It was priced right. And not even 2 hours later, this thing sold. And so I don't know, do y'all ever have that? Let me know in the comments below. It's really strange. I need to come up with a name for that phenomenon. It's totally weird. But that was the 9th best flip of the week. Looks like I made $25.55 on that one with a 730% ROI. Coming at number 8 is this Design Tech mail chime. So this is like some technology from the 90s, probably, maybe early 2000s. I got this in an estate sale. I didn't pay much for this, $3.50, and it ended up selling in about 2 months for $41.49. I ended up with a net return of $26.61 and an ROI of 760% for the 8th best flip of the week. This is the thing, I think you put it in your mailbox, it chimes when somebody opens the mailbox, like the mail person to deliver mail, it chimes inside the house so that you know when your mail's here. So it's pretty handy little old tech like that, and it sold pretty quickly. Now is the season for baseball gloves. So when you're finding baseball gloves, you definitely want to pick these up. Not all of them are good, of course, but baseball season's coming up, little league season's coming up, softball season, all that stuff. And anytime I'm seeing gloves, I'm pretty much picking them up, and I sell them year round, but they sell more right around the late winter, early spring. This is a Wilson brand. It's a first base glove. I got it for $5 at a flea market. It took 6 months to sell again, because I think I bought it outside of the season, but now again, it's ramping up. It's baseball season's coming up. So $44.99, free shipping. My net return on it was $28.08, a 562% ROI for the 7th best flip of the week. So keep an eye out for baseball gloves. Baseball bats do really well as well. Just look them up. They typically have a model number on it. This one you can see right there on the palm of the glove is the model number. Really easy to check comps on eBay. I've sold baseball gloves upwards of $75, $100, $150, so there's some really good ones out there. Coming at number 6 is this Glenn Campbell record. This thing was brand new and sealed from 1971. Just kind of cool to find stuff that old that's still sealed in the packaging and never been used. This was not a highly desirable record by any means. I had it priced at like $70 or $80. I ended up taking a best offer on it, $35.99 plus shipping, $40.12. I got a net return of $30.02, a 3,000% ROI. Only had $1 into it. It came in a bunch of records that I got off of Facebook Marketplace, and so took a long time to sell and find the right buyer, but when it did, I made some good money. Coming in at number 5 is this Cuisinart replacement bowl, and so this one I bought just recently, 5 days ago at Savers. I think I spent, it says $3, but I really spent $12, and it had the whole unit. It had the bowl like you see here, but the motor didn't work, and so I paid $12. It looked like it was in good shape, and I was expecting to sell the whole thing, but here's the thing. When I find this stuff, even if I'm not sure it's going to work, I still buy it anyway because you can just part it out, and just the bowl and lid attachment here as replacement parts went for $49.98. I ended up netting $30.57, so even though the motor did not work, doesn't really matter. I'm still going to get my money back. I'm still going to make a lot of money because this is one of 4 different things that I ended up listing from that whole broken set. So that was the 5th best flip of the week. Coming in at number 4 is this Escalade or Tahoe master power switch. This goes on the driver's side of the car. It unlocks the doors. It unlocks the windows. I ended up buying a couple boxes of these from all sorts of different cars. My brother hooked me up with this. He's got a buddy who has like a junkyard. I've had these for a while, and it was so funny because just the other day, my brother and I were talking about how slow these things sell. And you're going to see I have multiples of these that have have gone out this week. For some reason, it's like that phenomenon of touching something that you see in your inventory. We were just talking about how these things make good money, but they don't sell very often. And since then, I've sold 4. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm not complaining at all. $46.98, $32.45 was the net return on it. My ROI was just over 1,000. These are great. I'm still going through these. They're kind of like when I run out of inventory, I hop into these boxes, clean them up, and list them. It's a good thing to have on the back burner just to fill in the gaps when I don't have enough inventory to list. Coming in at number 3 is this Campbell hearing impaired touch caption telephone. So I got this at an estate sale, a very weird estate sale. I'll get to that in a second. This sold for $49.99. I had a net return of $33.63 and a 600% ROI. It's interesting. I sold this back to Campbell. So Campbell is the company that makes this, and they have a buyback program. And so I've found these phones in the past, and almost every time I think they have sold back to Campbell. And so it's pretty much guaranteed easy money when you find these things because the company's going to buy them back. I'm guessing they're going to refurbish them and then just resell them again. But this one, sold very quickly, 4 hours. The estate sale was very weird. I hesitate to call it an estate sale. I saw it on Craigslist. It was really a woman who was just letting people into her house to buy stuff. So she didn't stage it really in any way inside. You're just sort of walking around. In fact, we picked up a few things, thinking we were going to buy them. She's like, oh no, that's not for sale. So it's kind of funny in this business, you end up in some very strange scenarios. And this was one of those scenarios. So a very nice woman, but just sort of opened her house up, called it an estate sale, and was selling certain things from her house while she's living in it. So why not? But anyway, that was the third best flip of the week, $33.63 on this Campbell phone, sold directly back to Campbell. Coming in at number 2 is another one of these car switchers. This is for a Hyundai Santa Fe. Went for $49.99, free shipping, net return of $34.32, 1100% ROI. Again, these nothing special here. I got a big box of these things. Every time I'm running low on inventory, I'll dig into the box and put one up. And again, they are slow sellers except for this past week because for some reason they're just flying off the shelves. Because my number 1 is another one. This one's for a Chevy Silverado. This sold for $84.50. These things can make really good money. I'm not sure what dictates the price. Some of these things are worth a lot of money. Some of them are not worth very much money at all. You would think maybe the more expensive cars, the better. I've noticed trucks tend to do a little bit better, I guess because trucks are just more popular types of vehicles. I don't really know, but sometimes, I'll just have weird cars that aren't worth very much money at all, but the replacement part is worth a lot. Sometimes I have like a Lexus and the replacement part's not worth very much at all. And so really hard to determine, but I just go by comps on eBay. These things, if you look on the back, they typically have a unique identification. They have some sort of model number or series of numbers and letters, and you just put those into the eBay search and you'll be able to find comps. This one, the best flip of the week though, $63.39, 2,000% ROI. So a pretty slow week, but I can't really complain. I had just over $1,000 in gross income and a $583 net income over the last 7 days. All right, with the best sales out of the week, let's jump back into that scam. So if you remember a couple weeks ago, I was sharing on here how I had sold this calculator, this HP calculator for $257, I think it was. And then the buyer opened up a dispute, and that's when they go directly to their credit card and they contest the charges. This person said that it was not as described. I offer free returns. The return window was still open. This person did not try to return it. They just went directly to the credit card. And I didn't know. I wasn't sure if I was going to get my money back. Typically in these scenarios, what has happened though is that they refund the buyer, but not out of my account, which kind of sucks. Like I don't want this scammer to get money back, even if it doesn't come out of my pocket. I don't want them to. But this one was different. I was really excited because eBay did side with me on this one. The buyer did not get their money back. So yeah, the timeline on this, look at this. January 4th is when the dispute came up. I submitted my response saying like, hey, this thing was working. You can see it working. And then February 1st, just a few days ago, I got the dispute outcome. And it says here, you can see the buyer's payment institution sided with you and there's nothing else you need to do. So eBay released the hold on my account. You can see it here. I sold it for $259.99. Then they put a $259.99 account debit, a dispute hold on there on January 4th. It stayed on there almost a month, but then they reversed the hold and I got that $259 back and the scammer did not get their money back. So there you go. When I talked about this a few weeks ago, I got some people in the comments saying, oh, you're never going to get your money back. eBay's going to screw you over. I've done thousands and thousands of transactions on eBay over the last several years. In fact, over 4,000 transactions in the last 2 years. I can count on one hand how many times I've been legitimately scammed. And even with that 4 or 5 times that I've been scammed, I've never lost money. I always reach out to eBay. I provide all the details. Sometimes I talk to them on the phone. I've never lost money on it. Here's the thing. If you're a new seller and you read about somebody getting scammed on eBay, keep in mind that people don't go to forums like Reddit or YouTube or the eBay community community forums and talk about their successful transactions. They only go to talk about the bad transactions. It can make it feel really imbalanced, like that there's a ton of scams happening all the time on eBay. And again, in the last 2 years, I've had over 4,000 transactions and I've been scammed less than 5 times, and I've always gotten my money back. And so it's just a non-issue. eBay actually provides pretty good protection for their sellers. And you may scoff at the 13, 14%, percentage that they take off the top for platform fees, but think about the access to the audience you get for that. Think about the protections that you get as a seller on the platform. That's what the platform fees are paying for. Access to the audience, millions of people every day coming to see items on eBay, and seller protections when things like this happen. So I'm very happy to pay the 13%. You can't get access to an audience like that for that little money anywhere else. And the seller protections are pretty great. And they played through once again here, reversing that dispute, not refunding the buyer, and letting me keep my money on the sale. So it was pretty great. All right, that's going to do it for this week. If you like these videos, I do them every single week where I talk through the things I find, I talk through the things that I sell, my top 10 sells of the week, or other weird things that are happening as I sell on eBay every week. If you like these videos, you can check out some of the older ones. These to the left and right of my head are the last 2 weeks of What Sold videos. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next week.